שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Good morning and Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Congregation Shaarey Zedek. We welcome all of you in person. It's so nice to see people on the pews this Shabbat. It's wonderful. So thank you so much for coming out. And we also welcome everyone online. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for letting us into your homes so we can celebrate this Shabbat together. But we have more than Shabbat to celebrate today. Way more than Shabbat, because we are celebrating the Bat Mitzvah of Miriam Estein. Hi, Miri. Shabbat Shalom. How are you doing? All good? She said good. It's great. So, Mazel Tov to Miri, and also Ronnie and Michelle, and of course, Gabi and Soli, which I don't know much about them except for what Miri wrote on the speech. Wait for that. It's great to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to celebrate this Shabbat and this Bat Mitzvah together, and we have a great team. Great team here to do that. Let me start by introducing to all of you to our cantor, Leslie Emery. Shabbat Shalom, and good morning, Leslie. How are you doing?
I'm great. Shabbat Shalom. It's so nice to be here and to see you all here with us this morning, celebrating this important milestone in Miri's life, Miri's Bat Mitzvah. This day has been a little ways coming, hey Miri? But she looks ready, and I look forward to hearing from her sooner rather than later, I think. Thank you all for being here, both in person and online. Welcome, and Shabbat Shalom to you all.
Thank you, and welcome to Tali Milo. Shabbat Shalom, good morning.
Shabbat Shalom.
Tali is one of our lay leaders, and we are so happy that you're here with us. How are you doing?
I'm great. Mazal Tov to Miri and her family. It's been wonderful working with you, Miri, and we're all looking forward to hearing you.
Awesome. And we also have the one and only Marvin Polanski, our audiovisual director, in charge of sound and video. We are streaming live this service. And we also reminder that we have the chat open if you want to send any messages to our Bat Mitzvah, or basically to anyone here to our team, or you want to chat among yourself. It's open. On YouTube and Facebook, we are streaming live. So it's great to have different ways to connect with each other. And we are about to begin with this service. Oh, by the way, how rude. My name is Rabbi Yaniv Almas. And I'm also happy to be here. So Shabbat Shalom to myself. And the services, you're going to need the Siddur to follow along the prayers. The Siddur is a paperback. If you're in the sanctuary, if you're at home, you need to download it from the internet, szwinnipeg.ca/book. You can get a PDF of the prayer book there. And we are going to begin on page 5. Page 5. And I would like to invite everyone to rise for the morning blessings, the Birkot HaShachar.
שנתת בי, שנתת אשר נתן לשקפים מן הלב כי בין יום ובין לילה.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני בצמו.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני בת חורי.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני ישראל.
אמן.
אלוהי אלוהי נשמה נשמה שנתת בי שנתת בי טהורה היא טהורה היא. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם פוקח עברי.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם מלביש ערומי.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם מתיר אסורים.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם זוקף כפופים.
אמן.
אלוהי אלוהי נשמה נשמה שנתת בי שנתת בי טהורה היא טהורה היא.
Page 6.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם רוקח הארץ על המים.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשה לי כל צורכי.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המכין מצדק אבן.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם זר ישראל בגבורה.
אמן.
אלוהי אלוהי נשמה נשמה שנתת בי שנתת בי טהורה היא טהורה היא. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם עטר ישראל בתפארה.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם הנותן ליעף כוח.
אמן.
אלוהי אלוהי נשמה נשמה שנתת בי שנתת בי טהורה היא טהורה היא.
And you may be seated. As we continue now on page 8, I would like to invite you to praise the name of God together with the beautiful words of Psalm 148. Hallelujah, et Adonai min hashamayim.
Hallelujah et Adonai min hashamayim. Hallelujah bamromim. Hallelujah kol melachav. Hallelujah kol tzevav. Hallelujah. 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 Shemesh ve'yareach. Hallelujah kol kofei or. Hallelujah shemei hashamayim ve'amayim asher me'al hashamayim. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, kol malachav, hallelujah, kol tzevav, hallelujah, hallelujah.
And I would like to invite at this point everyone to rise. We are going to continue with recitation of the Mourner's Kaddish. And I believe this is a very special occasion. Lots of death around the world. We have war. We have a pandemic that is still present. And actually, I was reminded today that it's the second anniversary of the very first case of COVID-19 in Manitoba. And since then, we lost lots of valuable people. So together with death through war in Europe, Ukraine, I think it's great for you to be united in prayer, reciting the Mourner's Kaddish together. Please join us, page 46.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shaarey Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei. V'chayechon uvyomechon v'chayei dekol Beit Yisrael. Ba'gala uvizman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam le'amei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal Shmei dekudesha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen. You may be seated as we continue now on page 10 with Shochenad Maron.
Shochenad marom v'kadosh shemo b'fi sharim tithalal u'v'divrei tzadikim titbarach u'v'yashon chasidim titromam v'kerev kedoshim titkadash.
Bottom of the page, the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkada ve'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma divrach chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dekol Beit Yisrael. Ba'gala uvizman kariv ve'imeru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'le'almei almaya yitbarach. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitromam ve'yitnaseh ve'yitadar ve'yitale ve'yitalal Shemei dekudesha brichu le'ela min kol birchata ve'shirata tushbechata ve'nechemata da'amiran be'alma ve'imeru 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 amen.
And I would like to invite everyone to rise once again on page 12. We're about to recite together the Barhu. This is usually called the call to prayer. It's a way to feel that we are all on the same page, we're all synchronized during the service, but also it implies something else because we are saying let's bless God, the source of all blessings. So it's wonderful, at least once a day, to recognize that every blessing that we have is coming from God, and that we also have the opportunity to return the favor by blessing the name of God together. Barhu, page 12.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vahed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Yotzer Or Uborech Hoshech Oseh Shalom Uborech HaKol.
You may be seated. And just before we proceed with the Shema Israel, we have something very special. Something really, really, really special. Because this is going to be Miri's first participation during this service. But we have a tradition. Look at the bima here. Look at me. We're all wearing a talit, a prayer shawl. This is a symbol of being at least bar or bat mitzvah. So that means that Jewish people before the age of bar bat mitzvah, they don't wear a talit. And the first time we present a bar or bat mitzvah with a talit is for the occasion of their becoming an adult for the Jewish people. So this is the time when Miri is going to receive her talit for the first time. So I would like to invite, please, Miri, Michelle, and Ronnie to come to the bima. And this talit that Miri is about to receive is super special. Why? Because Miri is going to be wearing the same talit that her mom, Michelle, wore for her bat mitzvah 35 years ago, also at the Shaarey Zedek. I'm wondering if they were standing in the same spot when you received the talit. That's super special. Did you get married at the Shaarey Zedek? Because that would be also the same spot if the huppah was there. And I sometimes I've noticed that spot is magical in this synagogue. So many good things happened there. The talit represents the 613 commandments, the 613 mitzvot we have in Judaism, and it's going to be placed and it's on Miri's shoulder by her parents. So Miri, I would like to invite you now to recite your blessing and to receive this talit.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hitatef b'tzitzit.
Amen. Mazel tov and welcome. Welcome to the adults of the Jewish people. And Ronnie, Michelle, you can go back to your seats. Miri, I would like you to come to the microphone. And I don't know if you realize that next Shabbat, actually, next Saturday, and we also have a bat mitzvah, is going to be the 100th anniversary of the very first bat mitzvah in North America. So we are at that point. And this is amazing how things change in Judaism, but I would say for the good. And Miri is going to show us everything that she learned to become a bat mitzvah, and part of that involves learning some of the prayers. So Miri is going to begin with the Shema Israel. Please open your books on page 15 so we can all recite it together.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבביך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשבתך וקומך. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך וישעריך.
Please continue silently with the recitation of the Shema Israel, Hebrew or English.
Adonai Elohechem Amen.
Please turn to page 17 so we can sing together the words of victory. The words pronounced by the Jewish people when they crossed the Red Sea. The beautiful words of the Micha Mocha.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף פלא. שירה חדשה, שבחו גאולים לשמך, על שפת הים, יחד כולם, הודו והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, תהילות אוסף פלא.
Please rise.
צור ישראל, קומה בעזרת ישראל, ופרדכינו ממך יהודה וישראל, גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף פלא. ברוך אתה אדוני, גל ישראל.
And please remain standing for the Amidah, page 18. This is our central prayer. It's very connected to this week's Parsha Vayikra. Vayikra is talking about the sacrifices. And the sacrifices were the only way we had to connect with God back in the day. We're talking about 3,000 years ago. That's the only thing they knew. Since then, lots has evolved, and now we understand that we can connect with God with our prayers. But this prayer, the Amidah, was written by the rabbis as a direct replacement of the sacrifices. So I hope we can feel the same thing. We can feel that we are connecting with God at this time. And when we connect with God, this is an opportunity to share with the Creator of the world our joys and our sorrows. It's just about feeling closer to our Creator. So let's do it together. We start singing together on page 18, the first 3 blessings. And after the Le Dorvador, we are going to continue on silent prayer. For the silent prayer, you can use the Siddur if you wish, English or Hebrew, or you can also use your own words of prayer at that time. But now, page 18, let's sing together the Amidah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot, U'mevii Goel Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayem Etim Atah, Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGeshem, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Metim Verachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofe Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Mi Chamocha Bagevurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Meimit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua, L'ne'eman natan Achayot Meitim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaMeitim, Nekadesh et Shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto, Bishmei Marom, Kakatuv Ayad Nevi'echa, Vekara Zeze Ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzeva'ot, Meloko haaretz kevodo. Az b'kol rash gadol, adir v'chazak mashmim kol, mitnasim le'umat serafim, umatam baruch yomeru, baruch evon Adonai, mimekomo, imkomecha malkeinu tofia, v'timloch aleinu k'mechakim anachnu lach, atah timloch b'tzion mekarov be'yameinu, le'olam va'ed tishkon. Titkada v'titkadash v'toch Yerushalayim yircha, le'dor v'ador u'lenetzach netzachim, ve'inenu tirena malchutecha, kadavar hamor b'shirei uzecha, al yedei David Mashiach tzidkecha, himloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Tzion, le'dor v'ador, Alleluia.
Ledor vador,
Ledor vador,
ledor vador,
Ledor vador,
ledor vador, nagid קדוש חלבי, יברך אלוהינו מאבינו לימוש לעולם ועולם ועד. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד לך. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד לך. כי המלך גדול, גדול וקדוש, גדול וקדוש אתה. כי המלך גדול, גדול וקדוש, גדול וקדוש אתה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please continue silently, Hebrew or English, or your own words of prayer. a prayer for the people of Ukraine. Sovereign of the universe, who hears our prayers, we stand before you in solidarity with all who are enduring the darkness of human conflict in Ukraine. May you protect all innocent men, women, and children at this moment of great peril from them, their country, for Europe and the world. Bring fortitude to the vulnerable, resilience to the insecure, and strength to those who live in fear. Incline the hearts of national leaders towards peace and reconciliation, and bless them with the wisdom, vision, and perseverance needed to end this war and restore peace to the region. Almighty God, strengthen the hands of those who pursue peace, not war. Bring harmony where there is hostility, relief where there is pain, and hope where there is despair. May he who makes peace in high places make peace for all on earth. May this be your will, and let us all say, Amen.
Amen. Shalom Mimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'yimeru Amen.
Amen. Amen. Let's continue now with the Kaddish Shalom.
Page 32. Yitkana v'yitkana Shemei Rabah.
Amen.
Ve'amad yivrach yirteh, ve'amlich malchuteh, v'chayechonu v'yamecho, nivchayet kol beit Yisrael, b'agalav v'zman karim v'yimeru.
Amen.
Yehei Shmei Rabah mevorach, le'alam le'amei hamaya.
Yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach, yitpar v'yitram v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitala v'yitalal shmei kodesha.
Brichu.
La'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechmata, damiram me'ama v'yimeru.
Amen.
Titkabel tzlatan u'valtan, dekol Yisrael, kadam avon divishma v'yimeru.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru. Amen.
Amen. Well, we arrive at a very special moment of the service. We're about to take the Torah out of the ark. Actually, it's 2 scrolls, right? Is it 2 scrolls today? Am I right? Yes, 2 scrolls.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. 2 scrolls. It's Shabbat Zachor. It's a very special Shabbat. It's the Shabbat before Purim.
Watch out. There's going to be fun happening this week.
The Shabbat before Purim. We're going to read a section that is reminding us who Amalek was. Because, and careful, I'm about to say the name. During Purim, we say the name of Haman.
Boo.
Very good. So you're supposed to say boo. Let's try again. We read the name of Haman.
Boo.
And in the Megillah said that Haman was an Agagi. Agagi comes from the name Agag, where he was the king of Amalek during the time of King Saul. So that's why we make the connection with Amalek, the Shabbat before Purim, and that's why this is a special Shabbat that is called Shabbat Zachor, the Shabbat of their remembrance, because we have lots of things to remember, but I don't want to say any more about that because Miri is going to teach us about this, why this Shabbat is so special. But now I would like to invite Ronnie, Michelle, Gavi, Soli, and of course Miri to come to the bima. We are going to get ready to take the Sifrei Torah out of the ark. And everyone else, please rise.
Yeah.
1 second, Leslie.
When the rabbi starts playing, then it's time. Here we go. Vayehi Aaron, vayomer Moshe, Kuma Adonai, ve'afutzu oivecha, ve'yanutzu misanecha, mipanecha, ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, udevar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael, b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Kadlul Adonai iti, u'neromema shemo yachdav. Lecha Adonai hagedula ve'hagevura ve'atiferet ve'anetzach ve'ahod. Ki cho b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, ki cho b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha ve'hamitnaseh lechol rosh.
Rommemu,
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 Adonai Eloheinu, ve'ishtachavu, ve'ishtachavu, le'adom raglav kadoshu. Rommemu,
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 Adonai Eloheinu, ve'ishtachavu, ve'ishtachavu, lehar kodsho, ki kadosh, Adonai Eloheinu.
and you may be seated. We're about to begin with the reading of the Torah. As I mentioned before, this is Parshat Vayikra, which is the very first portion of the book of Leviticus. Which is the third book of the Torah. Okay, let's try to remember. First is Bereshit, which is the Genesis. Then comes Shemot, that is Exodus, and the third is Vaikra, Leviticus. So we are going to be reading from Leviticus, but we are not going to be reading from the very beginning because most conservative synagogues adopted the triennial cycle. That means that we finish reading the complete Torah every 3 years. Every year we read only 1/3 of the Parsha. We are in triennial cycle number 3. So that means that we are going to read the third part of Parsha Vaikra. I hope you can follow along. And for that, if you are here in the sanctuary, you should have a red-ish book in front of you. It's called the Etz Chaim Chumash. Etz Chaim Chumash. You have to open that book on page 599. 599. 599. Sounds like a good sale. 599. Leviticus chapter 4. And the first reading is going to be verses 27 to 31. Leslie Emery is going to be our Torah reader for the first Aliyah. Please follow along.
And we have our honoree, Jerry Posner, online. Welcome here, Jerry. It's always good to know you're with us. Longtime Shaarey Zedek person, and it's my honor to call you up this morning.
Amen.
Hakoavu godeleinu nu chavod laTorah yamod. Yosef Shmeriyahu ben Shner Zalman HaKohen. Baruch Shatan Torah Lamo Yisrael Bikdushato. Vatem advekim Adonai Elohechem. Chaim kulchem hayom. All right, Jerry, are you ready? Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. V'im nefesh achat techeta bishgaga me'am haaretz b'asotah achat mimitzvot Adonai asher lo ta'asena v'Hashem hodahanav chatato asher chata v'huva korbano Sirati zim temima nekeva al chatato asher chata v'samach et yado al rosh hachatat v'shachat et hachatat bimkom ha'olam v'lakach hakohen midama betzba'o v'natan al karnot mizbach ha'olam v'et kol dama yishpoch el yesod ha'mizbeach v'et kol chelba yasir kasher kusar chelev me'al zevach hashamim Yiktir hakohen hamizbecha l'reach nichoach l'Adonai v'chiper alav hakohen anislach lo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Yasher Koach, Jerry, and thank you for accepting an honor this morning.
Yasher Koach to Jerry Posner.
Jerry Posner.
I hope you're going to be tuning in next week. I think we're going to sing a song composed by someone you know. That's all I'm going to say. Let's continue now with the Sheni Aliyah. Darren Franks is honored with the second Aliyah. Leslie Emery is going to continue reading the Torah for us. So Yasher Koach to you, Leslie.
Baruch Tieh.
For the reading and also for all the beautiful singing this morning.
Thank you so much.
The second Aliyah, page 600. Page 600 in the books. Leviticus chapter 4, verses 32 to 35.
יעמוד דוד בן אברהם לעלייה השנייה.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai המבורך לעולם ועד.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Mechalam asher bachar banu mikol amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
אמן. ואם כבש יביא קורבנו לחטאת, נקבה תמימה יביאנה, ושמח את ידו על ראש החטאת, ושחט אותה לחטאת, במקום אשר ישחט את העולה. ולקח הכהן מדם החטאת באצבעו, ונתן על קרנות מזבח העולה, ואת כל דמה ישפוך אל יסוד המזבח, ואת כל חלבה יסיר, כאשר יוסר חלב הכסף מזבח השלמים, והקטיר הכהן אותם המזבחה על אישי אדוני, וכיפר עליו הכהן על חטאתו אשר חטא ונסלח לו.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Mechalam asher natan לנו את תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטל בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Yeshua Koyak, Darren, thank you so much. You can return to your seat. Yeshua Kochech, Leslie.
Baruch tieh.
And we are going to continue now with the third reading. Please turn to page 601. This is Leviticus chapter 5, verses 1 to 10. And it's a great pleasure to honor Jinaya Peters. We ask you to come to the microphone as we call you up as an honoree for our third Aliyah.
תעמוד Todah Rabah ואסתר לעלייה השלישית.
Again, Leviticus chapter 5, verses 1 to 10.
Janaya, would you like a talit to wear?
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Benefesh ki techeta, v'shameha kol Allah, vehu het ora yada, im lo yagid v'nasavono o nefesh asher tiga bechol davar tameh v'nivlat chaya temea v'nivlat behema temea v'nivlat sheretz tameh v'nela mimenu vehu tameh v'Hashem chika betumat adam lechol tumato asher yitma ba v'nela mimenu vehu yada v'Hashem o nefesh ki tishava levatev yisvatayim lehara oleitiv lechol asher yevateh adam bishvuha v'nelam mimenu והוא ידע והשם לאחת מאלה, והיה כי ישם לאחת מאלה, והתוודה אשר חטא עליה, והביא את אשמו לאדוני על חטאתו אשר חטא, נקבה מן הצאן כזבה, וסירת עזים לחטאת, וכיפר עליו הכהן מחטאתו, ואם לא תגיע ידו דייסה, והביא את אשמו אשר חטא, שתי תורים או שני בני יונה לאדוני, אחד לחטאת ואחד לעולה, והביא אותם אל הכהן והקריב את אשר לחטאת ראשונה, ומלך את ראשו ממול עורפו ולא יבדיל, ויזע מדם החטאת על קיר המזבח, ונשאר בדם יימצא אל יסוד המזבח, חטאת הוא, ואת השני יעשה עולה כמשפט, וכיפר עליו הכהן מחטאתו אשר חטא, ונסלח לו.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Yasher Kochech, Jneya, thank you so much. And Mazal Tov and Shabbat Shalom. And Yasher Kochech to Tali, beautiful, long reading. Wow, that was amazing. That was great. So we are ready to continue now with the fourth Aliyah, the Revi'i. It's a great pleasure to honor Diane Glass and Matthew Glass. So we invite you to come to the microphone. Tali Milo is going to continue reading for us. And please, if you're following along, this is page 603 of the Etz Chaim Chumash. And Leviticus chapter 5, verses 11 to 13. Again, Leviticus chapter 5, verse 11 to 13.
Yamdu Dina bat Ephraim hershu Miriam v'Matityahu ben Yosef ufreid al Aliyah Revi. Oh, from the top of the page.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim natan lanu el Torah. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Ve'im lo tasik yado lishtei torim lishnei bnei Yona ve'hevi et korbano asher chata asiri taifa solet lechatat lo yasim aleha shemen velo yiten alea levona ki chatati ve'viah el hakohen ve'kamatz hakohen mimena melokum tzor et azkarata ve'hinti hiramizbecha al אישי אדוני חטאתי וכיפר עליו הכהן על חטאתו אשר חטא מאחת מהן ונסלח לו והייתה לכהן כמנחה.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם ואתה בכוחנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Yasher kochechem and mazel tov.
Mazel tov, to grandparents of our bat mitzvah. Shabbat Shalom to you. We are going to continue now with the Hamishi Aliyah. Tali Milo is going to continue reading Torah for us. Page 603, Leviticus chapter 5, verses 14 to 16. And it's a great pleasure to invite Debbie and Irving Estein to come to the microphone.
Yamdu Devorah bat Binyamin ben Leah veYitzchak ben Shaul uMalka l'Aliyah HaChamishi.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך,
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Vaed.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Amen. V'yidaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, nefesh ki timohal, v'chateha bishgaga, v'kodshei Adonai, v'hevi et hashamol Adonai, ayil tamim min hatzon, ברכך כסף שקלים בשקל הקודש להשם ואת אשר חטא מן הקודש ישלם ואת חמישיתו יוסף עליו ונתן אותו לכהן והכהן יכפר עליו ועל השם ונסלח לו.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Mazel Tov to Debbie and Irving, grandparents of Miri. So Mazel Tov, Shabbat Shalom to you. And it's a great pleasure now to invite Orly Estein, aunt of our bat mitzvah, to come to the microphone. You are honored with the Shishi Aliyah. Talimilo is going to continue reading for us. Page 604, Leviticus chapter 5, verses 17 to 19. Again, chapter 5, verses 17 to 19.
Tamod Orly bat Yitzchak uDevorah l'Aliyah HaShishi.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך,
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Vaed.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו, ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
אמן. ואם נפש כי תחטא ועשתה אחת מכל מצוות אדוני אשר לא תעשנה ולא ידע והשם ונשא בנו והביא איל תמי מן הצאן ברכך להשם אל הכהן וכיפר עליו הכהן על שגגתו אשר שגג והוא לא ידע ונסלח לו אשם הוא אשם לאדוני.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
אמן.
יישר כוח.
Mazel tov, Orly. Shabbat shalom to you. And יישר כוחך to Tali. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Well, it's time to honor now the parents of our bat mitzvah, Ronnie and Michelle. And I just realized, Ronnie, you know that we are connected. Your name is Yehuda Moshe ben Yitzchak. That's the name of my son. Yehuda Moshe ben Yitzchak. It's I've never seen anybody called Ronen Yehuda, right? Like my son is Ronen Yehuda, and I'm Yitzchak. So, wait, same name. What about that? Okay, Ronen, Michelle, if you can come to the microphone, we are going to call you up to honor you with this aliyah.
יעמדו רונן יהודה בן יצחק ודבורה ומיכל יהודית מתתיהו ודינה לעלייה השביעית.
ברכו אל אדוני המבורך.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
ברוך אתה אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה, No, we did that one. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. V'yidaber Adonai el Moshe lemor nefesh ki techeta u'malhamah b'Adonai וכיחש במיתו בפיקדון ובתשום את ידו בגזל עשק את המיתו ומצא בידה וכיחש בה ונשבע על שקר על אחת מכל אשר יעשה האדם לחטוא בהנה והיה כי יחטא בהשם והשיב את הגזלה אשר גזל את העושק אשר עשק את הפיקדון אשר הופקד איתו או את הביתה אשר מצא מכל אשר יישבע עליו לשקר ושילם אותו בראשו וחמישיתיו יוסף עליו לאשר הוא לא יתננו ביום אשמתו ואת אשמו יביא לאדוני איל תמי מן הצאן ברכך להשם אל הכהן וכיפר עליו הכהן לפני אדוני ונסלח לו על אחת מכל אשר יעשה Ma'ava.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Ronnie and Michelle, we have a special blessing for you to congratulate you for this moment. So if you can stay there for just one more minute. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב, שרה רבקה רחל ולאה. הוא יברך את רונן יהודה בן יצחק ודבורה, ואת מיכל יהודית בת מתתיהו ודינה, הורי הבחורה הבת מצווה. כשם שזכו לגדל את ביתם עד היום הזה, כן יזכו להמשיך ולהדריך את ביתם להיות בת נאמנה לעם ישראל. הקדוש ברוך הוא יחזקם ויאמצם ויברכם בחסד ובשלום ונאמר אמן.
Amen.
May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless Ronnie and Michelle. Parents of Miri, who becomes a bat mitzvah today, they thank you for the strength you have granted them to raise their child so that she could reach this time. Guide them to recognize their child's new responsibilities among the Jewish people. Bless them with joy and fulfillment on this and every day. And let us all say,
Amen.
Amen. Mazal Tov.
Mazal
And
tov.
So, Michelle, you can take a seat for a minute. Ronnie, we need you on the bima for one more minute. And we also would like to invite Irving to come to the bima. We are about to proceed with Hagba Angelila. That means we need to lift, roll, and tie the first scroll. Remember I told you we have 2 scrolls today. So first we have to put the first one away. So Ronnie Estein is going to be our Magbia, and Irving is going to be the Golel. So I would like to invite everyone to rise now to honor the Sefer Torah.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ליד משה. כי מציון תצא תורה ודבר אדוני מירושלים. כי מציון
תצא תורה ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל. ברוך שנתן תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. Please remain standing a little longer.
I have to say, Ronnie, that was quite the Hagba. Yasher Koach. This is one of 2 lifts for Ronnie this morning.
Careful. Good. Up.
Oh, very good. Yasher Koach.
Sher Kochechem. We need to put the Torah on the holder. And meanwhile, I would like to invite Miri to come to the bima together with Michelle. And you may be seated, by the way. We have a beautiful tradition here at the Shaarey Zedek, and it's whenever we call up a bar bat mitzvah to the Torah, we'd like to have his or her parents next to them. So we can actually feel that this is something that happened from generation to generation. It's something that the same way that sometimes, like in case of Miri, her parents had the bar bat mitzvah in the past. Now it's her turn. So it's a continuation. It's not something new. It's a continuation. It's something that started thousands of years ago when Moses received the Torah on Sinai. And from that time on, it's something that continued generation after generation. And now, Miri, it's your responsibility to accept the responsibility of Torah. So we are going to call you up in a traditional way that we have here at the Shaarey Zedek. We have a special melody to call up Bnei Bnot Mitzvah. So, Leslie, please.
Are you ready, Miri? Tamod, 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 Miriam Malka Batronenu Michal, Maftir, Chizak, Bat mitzvah, bat mitzvah, bat mitzvah, Ali, 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 lichvot Torah, Ali, 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 lichvot Torah, lichvot Torah, lichvot Torah.
Amiri, before you say the blessing, let me announce, because I remember I told you, the second scroll of Torah, is the reading is coming from a different section of the Torah. So if you're following along, you have to jump ahead to page 1135 of the Etz Chaim Chumash. Again, 1135. Or if you're using a different book, this is Deuteronomy chapter 25, verses 17 to 19. And this corresponds what is called the Shabbat Zachor, the Shabbat of remembrance, when we remember what Amalek did to the Jewish people after we left Egypt. Miri, please uncover the Torah and say the blessing.
Baruch Hu Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bacha banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Zachor et asher asa lecha Amalek baderech betechem mimitzrayim asher karecha baderech vayazneh bacha kol necheshalim acharecha ve'ata ayef ve'yagea ve'lo yareh Elohim V'haya, v'haniya, Adonai, Elohecha, lecha, mikol oyevecha, mesaviv, ba'aretz asher, Adonai Elohecha, noten lecha, nechela, l'rishteh, timche, את זכר המלך מתחת השמיים לא תשכח. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נתת בתוכנו. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Miri Yasher Kochech. That was beautiful, beautiful reading. Beautiful reading. And we have a special blessing for you. And it goes like this. Misheberach Aboteinu Abraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah, הוא יברך את מרים מלכה, בת רונן ומיכל, שהגיעה למצוות ועלתה לכבוד המקום ולכבוד התורה ולכבוד השבת. הקדוש ברוך הוא ישמריה וחייה וכונן את ליבה להיות שלמה עם אדוני אלוהיו, להגות בתורתו, ללכת בדרכיו ולשמור מצוותיו, וישלח ברכה והצלחה וכל מעשה ידיה. יזכו הוריה לגדלה לתורה ולחופה ולמעשים טובים, ותמצא חן ושכל טוב בעיני אלוהים וידם, ונאמר אמן.
Amen.
May God, who bless our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless Miri, who has come for an aliyah upon reaching the age of mitzvot, with reverence for God, respect for the Torah, and Shabbat. May the Kadosh Baruch Hu protect and sustain Miri, helping her to be wholehearted in her faith, to study Torah and fulfill mitzvot, and to walk in God's ways. May her parents rear her to maturity, guiding Miri to the blessings of Torah, chuppah, and a life of maasim tovim, good deeds. May she find favor before God and the community. And let us all say, Amen.
Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, yehelanu. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, yehelanu. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Olechol Israel. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Olechol Israel. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Olechol Israel. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Olechol Israel. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov, Miri. That was fantastic.
Beautiful.
But it's not all. We are going to, again, lift, roll, and tie the second scroll of Torah. And immediately after, Miri is going to read from her Haftarah, which is always, every Shabbat, we have a text coming from the book of prophets that is somehow connected either to the Parsha or to something that is happening during that specific Shabbat. For that, we had to read to leave the Torah. Ronnie, you are needed again. Everybody else, it's invited to rise. And Irving, where are you? We need you back.
Irving, you're invited up to help. This time, if you look at the scroll, it's going to be a lot more heavy on Ronnie's right. So here we go. It's going to be a little trickier.
This is Ronnie level 2.
How was his warm-up round?
Next level, you fight the boss.
Ronnie, if you squat and lift, it'll be easier. Vezot Torah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe ki mitzion tetzeh Torah udvar Adonai miYerushalayim ki mitzion tetzeh Torah udvar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael. Baruch Shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael v'kedushato. Yasher Koach. That one was a little harder, hey?
Don't worry,
You had a great Hagba buddy. I mean, he had your back all the way.
We have heavier Torahs if you want.
We do.
We do, actually.
We do.
That's not a joke.
It is. Bill Weissman does this great video on YouTube on how to do a Hagba. If ever you want to take Hagba lessons, Bill Weissman has a whole method of how to lift.
Yeah,
it's worth taking a look. Tali can lift the big Torah. I'm still working my way up to it. But
it's all about the legs. That's the thing. It's all about the legs. It's not about the wrists. It's about the legs.
There you go. Beautiful. Yasher Koach.
Yesher kochechem. And now we need to place the second scroll on the holder, on the side of the bima.
So one of the things you may have noticed with how the different scrolls are scrolled, that's why we have 2 Torah scrolls this morning, right? Because if you want to find a different part in the Torah and it's very far apart, it can take a while to find your place. And so we're very fortunate to have many scrolls that we can use when we need them, and to have Ronnie here to lift them this morning for us.
Yeah. You may be seated. I don't know also if you noticed how Leslie and myself, we've been avoiding the use of the word Torahs. We say scrolls of Torah. And this is the correct way of mentioning the Torah, because we believe that there is only one Torah. That's why when we are talking about the Torah, we never use the plural, because there is only one Torah. Let's continue now with the Haftarah. As I mentioned, it's taken from the book of the prophets, in this case from the first book of Samuel, chapter 15. Miri is going to read verses 2 to 15. Again, first book of Samuel, chapter 15, verses 2 to 15. If you have the Etz Chaim Chumash in front of you, this is page 1281. Again, 1281, first book of Samuel, chapter 15, verses 2 to 15. Miri, whenever you're ready.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'neviim tovim v'ratzah b'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah uveMoshe avdo uveYisrael amo u'minvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek.
Amen.
Ko amar Adonai tzevaot pakadeti et asher asa Amalek l'Yisrael asher sam lo baderech be'aloto mimitzrayim ata lech v'hikita et Amalek ve'acharamtem et kol asher lo ve'lo tachmol alav ve'hemata me'ish ad isha me'olel ve'ad yonek mish'or ve'ad zer mikamal ve'ad chamor yishama Shaul et ha'am yipkadem b'ta'im 200,000 ragli vayaseret alafim ish Yehuda vayavo Shaul ad ir Amalek vayarav banachal vayomer Shaul el hakeni lechu suru radu mitoch Amaleki venosivcha imo ve'ata asita chesed im kol bnei Yisrael ve'alotam mimitzrayim vayatzar keni mitoch Amalek vayach Shaul et Amalek melchavila boacha shur asher al panei Mitzrayim vayitpos et Agag melech Amalek chai et kol ha'am hacharim lefi charev vayachmol Shaul ve'ha'am al Agag ve'al metav hatzon ve'habakar ve'hamishnim ve'al karim ve'al kol hatov ve'lo avo acharimam ve'kol ha'malacha nemivza ve'names ota echarimu ויהי דבר אדוני אל שמואל לאמור, ניחמתי כי המלכתי את שאול למלך, כי שב מאחרי ואת דברי לא הקים. ויחר לשמואל להיזק באל אדוני כל הלילה. וישכם שמואל לקראת שאול בבוקר, ויגד לשמואל לאמור לשאול הכרמלה, והנה מציב לו יד. ויעבור וירד הגילגל. ויבוא שמואל על שאול, ויאמר לו שאול, ברוך אתה לאדוני, הקימותי את דבר אדוני. ויאמר שמואל, ומה כל הצאן הזה באוזני, וכל הבקר אשר אנוכי שומע. ויאמר שאול, מעמלקי הביאום, אשר חמל העם על מיטב הצאן והבקר, למען זבוח לאדוני אלוהיך, ואת היותר החרמנו. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, צור כל העולמים, צדיק בכל הדורות, האל הנאמן, האומר ועושה, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק. נאמן אתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ונאמנים דבריך, ודבר אחד מדבריך אחור לא ישוב ריקם, כי המלך נאמן ורחמן אתה. ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך הוא ברוך שמו,
האל הנאמן וכל דבריו.
אמן.
רחם על ציון כי היא בית חיינו, ולעלובת נפש תושיע במהרה בימינו. ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך הוא ברוך שמו,
משמח ציון במניה.
אמן.
שמחנו אדוני אלוהינו באליהו הנביא עבדך, ובמלכות בית דוד משיחך, במהרה יבוא ויגל ליבנו, על כיסו לא ישב זר, ולא ינחלו עוד אחרים את כבודו, כי בשם קודשך נשבעת לו, שלא יכבה נרו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך הוא ברוך שמו,
מגן דוד.
אמן.
על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו, לקדושה ולמנוחה, לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך הוא ברוך שמו,
מקדש השבת.
Amen.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Wow.
That was Absolutely, absolutely amazing, Miri. You have a beautiful voice. Do you take singing lessons?
No.
Not only
Okay.
that, like Miri, you did
It's-
this pretty much by yourself. Like you practiced on your own.
It's
you
amazing.
did this. Yes, amazing. Yasher Koach, an accomplishment worth celebrating.
Your intonation is absolutely flawless. Let me tell you, that's not something that you find every day.
No,
So,
not at all.
Good for you. Good for you. Have a beautiful voice. And I don't know if everyone who was following the reading, let's see who was following the reading. I don't know if you noticed the connection between the Haftorah and the Maftir. The Maftir was saying that we have to remember what Amalek did to us, right? And the Haftorah that Miri read is God's instruction to King Saul to actually destroy Amalek. And he failed. He failed. And that's why you will see in the story of Purim is also a continuation of Saul's failure. You will see the Mordecai was related to Saul, and Haman, boo, was related to Agag, the king that is mentioned in the book of Samuel. So they have a beautiful connection between the two. And again, Miri is going to teach us about what actually Amalek represents, not just in the Torah, but in society. But for now, again, Yasher Kochech, Mazal Tov, that was absolutely fantastic. We invite you to take a seat for a minute, take a little rest. We are going to take now a few minutes to pray for healing.
There are so many in need of healing at this time in the world. We also pray for all those providing healthcare on the front lines in our pandemic here, and all those in Ukraine. If you do know someone in need of healing and you'd like to add their name to our prayer this morning, you can send their name in online, or I'll also take a look around the room as well. On our list today we have Iris Bat Yafa, Nisan Hillel ben Rachel, Isabella Bat Sarah, Moshe Aharon ben Leah, Atara Bat Etel, Shmuel Leib ben Gitel, Dana Brinley, Bracha Yehudit Bat Batsheva, Bracha Bat Shendel, David Tzvi ben Sarah Pesel, Dina Rachel Bat Sarah Esther, Yitzchak Chaim ben Sarah, Tova Yael Bat Dina Rachel, Shira Naomi Bat Dina Rachel, Eliezer Meyer ben Tova Yael, Katriel Yosef ben Tova Yael, Yisrael Chaim ben Shira Naomi, Dave Scammell, Ariel Neshama Bat Sarah, Cheryl May, Leah Bat Adele, Colin Rich, Chai Mosher ben Chai Malka, Daniel Yaakov ben Avram, Adrian McDonald, Leah Bat Rachel, Devorah Gitel Bat Leah, Binyamin Pinchas ben Devorah Gitel, Nachum Leib ben Leah, Carmel Bat Iris, Georgina Tassara, Eliakim Pesach ben Esther Pesi, Sharon Bat Golda, Chaya Zahava Bat Leah, Kyler Lewis, Bela Ora Bat Risa Reitza Anya Malka, Jen Leddick, Tzipora Gitel Bat Chaya Leah, Rochelle Bat Sonia, Alfie Glass, Beryl ben Devorah, Esther Bela Bat Sarah, Rulian Nositi Mendonça.
We also pray for healing for Herbert Singer, Malka Bat Yaakova, Isabella Bat Sarah, Chana Bat Chaya Etel, Yaakov ben Ephraim, and Leslie's List, Sarah Pat, and Mark ben Sora.
Does anyone else here have a name they'd like to add? I'll look around the room. Let's join together in a prayer for healing. Yes, of course. Amen. Amen. Mi shebeirach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, hu yevarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. Mi shebeirach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, hu yevarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. Elna refanala, Elna refanala, Elna
Amen. And I would like to invite everyone to rise now as we are about to return the Torah to the Ark. And for that, we need, again, Miri, of course, Ronnie, Michelle, Miriam, Ronnie, Michelle, Gabi, and Soli. Please come here. We need you. We need to help with the Torah and the Ark. Page
41.
41.
יהללו את שם אדוני, כי נשגב שמו לבדו. הודו על ארץ ושמיים בירם קרן לעמו. תהילה, תהילה לכל חסידיו, לבני ישראל עם קרובו. הללויה, 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 הללויה. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בו, ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה, דרכי נועם, בכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה, חדש ימינו, חדש ימינו, חדש ימינו כקדם.
And now that the ark is closed, you may be seated.
Yasher kochechem.
Yer Kochechem, Miri, don't go anywhere. We have something very special now. And this is what I was mentioning before. This is the time when Miri will have an opportunity to teach us all. It's one of the most important parts of a bar or bat mitzvah. Yes, it's great to know how to sing the prayers. It's great to know how to read from the Torah. But that's all a mechanical skill. The most profound and meaningful part of a bar bat mitzvah ceremony is when we have the opportunity to appreciate that, in this case, Miri can understand Jewish texts, and she can apply all the teachings from the Torah and from the rabbis to her own life. Because that's what experiencing and living Judaism is all about. It's all about understanding the richness of our tradition, but in a way that we can find it meaningful to us. It's not something that happened 3,000 years ago. The Torah is something that happens every day of our life. And the responsibility to understand that starts when we become bar or bat mitzvah. That's why this is such an important moment. So I would like to invite everyone now to actually listen and pay attention to what Miri has to say, because she's about to give us a lesson from the Torah that we can apply every day of our lives. Miri, please.
Good morning, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom. Today I want to talk to you about my Torah portion, Zachor. This being the Shabbat before Purim, it is called Shabbat Zachor, or Shabbat of Remembrance. On this Shabbat, we read the verse, Zachor et asher sa lecha Amalek b'derech b'tzachem mitzrayim, which means that God commands us to remember what Amalek did to you on your way out of Egypt. The theme of this week's Torah portion is to remind us to remember and never forget what Amalek did to the Jewish people after they had escaped Egypt. Amalek attacked our people when they had least expected it after they had finally escaped Egypt, after the 10 plagues. In fact, Judaism is a religion based on memory and remembering the past over and over again. For example, we are commanded to remember Amalek today. also to retell and remember the story of Haman during Purim, as well as the Exodus from Egypt during Passover Seder. One may believe that remembering is essential to the survival of the Jews. How else is it possible that we are still here today after thousands of years of dispersion, persecution, destruction, and renewal? Now back to Amalek. The rabbis connect Amalek to Haman, the evil character of the story of Purim. The tradition is to read this Torah portion on the Shabbat before Purim to understand that Haman was a descendant of Amalek. What was so bad about Amalek? Amalek represents coward anti-Semitism, people who attack the Jewish people for no other reason than because we exist. But this Torah portion doesn't put all the blame on Amalek. After the opening verse, the Torah continues, "When you were weary and worn out, they met you on your journey and attacked all those who were lagging behind." The Torah is also warning us that we can't afford to be weak, and we have to be vigilant so that no one is left behind. When we as a people are weak, and when we separate ourselves from the community, we make ourselves an easy target to modern Amaleks. Every generation will be confronted with their own Amalek, whether it's Haman during the time of Esther or Hitler during the Holocaust. So we need to be sure that no one is left behind and we are connected to the community, because unity makes us stronger. Canada seems to be a safer place for Jews compared to other countries. However, it doesn't mean that we don't have anti-Semitism. Did you know that in the not-too-distant past, Jewish people living in Canada were discouraged from visiting certain vacation spots or from purchasing, renting, or vacation properties? According to B'nai B'rith Canada, we had 2,610 anti-Semitic incidents in 2020. 2020 was the fifth back-to-back record-setting year for anti-Semitism in Canada, with an 18.3% increase of recorded anti-Semitic incidents compared to 2019. More than 7 anti-Semitic incidents occurred every day in 2020. As we can see, Amalek is present in the world, and that's why the Torah says we can't forget what happened in the past. We can't give up. We need to be strong and always find ways to unite. Our Jewish memories matter, and thus we will never forget. Now that I'm a bat mitzvah, I have all the rights and responsibilities as a Jewish adult, including the commandments of the Torah. There are 612 commandments in the Torah. One of the commandments, or mitzvahs, is charity, or tzedakah. Tzedakah actually means justice or righteousness, but is commonly referred to as charity. Tzedakah will be one of the first mitzvahs I was carrying out as a bat mitzvah. I'll be making a donation with a portion of my bat mitzvah funds to the Children's Hospital Foundation in support of children's mental health. Mental health is a state of mind where you can deal with the stress of life and contribute to your surroundings. One's mental health is as important as one's physical health, and they are both connected. If you cannot cope with stress, anxiety, or panic attacks, it's hard to work and contribute to society. Mental health affects every aspect of our lives, and over the last 2 years, most children have been more isolated than ever before. Lack of get-togethers, sports, outdoor activities have all been limited, and this affects on children's mental health. I feel that it was important to donate to this cause and encourage others to do the same. Now I would like to thank some very important people who helped me reach this important milestone in my life. I cannot express enough gratitude to each one of you, both online and in person. You guys are my life, and I'm so grateful. Thank you to my parents for always sticking by my side and supporting me, helping me with my homework, speeches, debates, website making. Mom, thank you for all the time you've spent planning on my bar mitzvah after 12-hour workdays. Thank you for forcing me to prepare speeches for the Jewish holidays at our family dinners. I realize now that you are preparing me for this day, and although that time I wasn't too happy about doing it. Thank you to my dad. My dad is very special, and he is always there for me and my siblings 24/7. He loves to teach us about everything from cooking to politics and world events. Thank you for your wisdom and many, many, many lectures on every topic in the world. Mom, Dad, you are always there for me. Thank you to my grandparents for always rushing over whenever we need you most. My Zeta for teaching me how to play cards and showing me the newspaper can actually be interesting. My Zeta also just celebrated his 90th birthday 2 weeks ago, and I'm so thankful that we could celebrate these special moments together. Thank you to my Baba for spoiling us with treats and letting us stay at your house for 4 years when we were building our own. Thank you to my Omi for always bringing new games when you come back to Winnipeg, and for the many sleepovers we had. I'm hoping this will be over soon and we can start again. Thank you for my Saba for always cooking, for making food with us, and for always getting new things to experiment with. Thank you to my old friends and my friends from previous schools. I miss you guys so much and the time we spent together. I'm so glad we would be able to be together today. Thank you to my girls at my current school. I can truly say you guys are some of the best friends I've ever had. Thank you for being there for me, being my ray of sunshine every single day. Thank you for accepting me and bringing me into your group on the first day of school when we first met. Thank you for laughing with me, crying with me, and being stressed when we all have our debate on the same week. To the boys, thank you for making the stupidest jokes and entertaining us for doing the most stupidest thing possible and most likely injuring yourself. Thank you to my sister for organizing our closet when it gets crazy, for bringing a peace offering of french fries when I'm mad or sad. Thank you to my brother for his never-ending enthusiasm, ready to talk about anything and everything, filling all the gaps of silence. Thank you to my Auntie Orly, who has literally been there virtually for me since I was born. If you ever thought babysitting over FaceTime is possible, then you've never met my Auntie Orly. Sometimes she still managed to keep us in line in the form of miles away. Thank you for all your time and patience and never missing a Shabbat, even though you live in Montreal. I'm so happy you are here today in person to share this day with me. I love you. I would also like to thank my great-grandmother, Leah Levy, who lives in Montreal and was not able to make it here today. I know she will enjoy watching the video of today's celebration, and I wish her my love. I'd also like to acknowledge all my family and friends in Israel, Canada, the United States, and other parts of the world who are not able to be here today. I love you and hope to see you one day soon. Thank you to Cantor Leslie, Emery, and Tally Milo for my weekly lessons, for helping me with my Torah portion and Haftarah, and Rabbi Mass with helping me with the speech. Thank you, Marvin, for the audio and broadcast so people all over the world can stream and watch this live event. And I thank you everyone who came today to celebrate this special moment. I feel privileged that I'm one of the first bat mitzvahs this year and was able to take place in person during this pandemic. I will never forget this moment. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Yes, you can clap. Miri, that was an amazing, amazing Dvar Torah. Yes, I feel that that was inspirational, and I hope you were paying attention because it's so relevant. It's so relevant, and this is what Torah is all about. We find the messages, the encouragement that we need every day of our life in this book that was written thousands of years ago, and that's amazing. So thank you for bringing that to all of us so we can get inspired on your bat mitzvah. But it was great to work with you writing the speech. And let me tell you, the first thing that I discovered about you, you like fantasy books. So do I. So it's yeah, I like the genre. It's great because I think it's something that allows us to sometimes to dream with a better world, with a different world. But now that you are a bat mitzvah, you're an adult. You're an adult. You realize that, well, that's part of your responsibility now. All that dream, all that kind of world that you dream about, you have what it takes to help, to build that world. And you see, this week's Parsha Vayikra, that is talking about sacrifices. Lots of sacrifices. You know, it's really graphic if you actually read what happened there. But thank God, we don't have sacrifices anymore. But it doesn't mean that we cannot learn from that to actually have the key of what do we have to do to make this world a better world. The sacrifices back at the time of the temple was all about to bring the best of your animals. You had to take the best of the best, and that's what you present as an offering. That's what it's called, a sacrifice, something that you sacrifice for something that you have, but you gain something in return. You gain the awareness of God, and you gain, sometimes according to the Torah, God's forgiveness, or you make God happy, and so forth. But in order to do that, you have to give up something that is very precious to you, because you know that what you get in return is great. Life sometimes is like that. In order to achieve the things that we want, we have to be able to give up sometimes things that are sacred for us. We want it for us, but we know that we have to do it in order to gain something better. You see, it's great sometimes to stay at home reading books, playing games, but sometimes we have to give that up in order to contribute to society, in order to go to school and to learn new things. When we become adults is when we start understanding that sometimes we had to give up certain things, but always to achieve something better. So my invitation to you is to take that message with you for the rest of your life and to understand that you have what it takes. You have so many talents that I'm so sure that you will leave your mark in this generation. But in order to do that, you have to learn to make sacrifices towards those dreams and towards those goals. And that is something, as you mentioned in your speech, you should never forget. Or as you said it, you have to remember and never forget it. No, how you say it? Don't forget to remember. That's what he said. Don't forget to remember those important things. Everything that we can do. You talk about anti-Semitism, there is a lot that you can do through your school, through sometimes personal involvement in certain initiatives of the Jewish community. There is so much that we can do, but the only thing we can achieve that if we learn from early on to make sacrifices in order to achieve great things. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly the kind of life that you are going to live. That's why we would like to congratulate you in a special way for achieving this moment, and we have some presents for you. You see them there? It's all for you. Don't forget it. Remember, don't forget it. Somebody taught me that 5 minutes ago. So, what is there? You have some books. First, the complete how-to handbook for Jewish living. Okay? And this is a gift from Congregation Shaarey Zedek and the board of directors. Second book, Coming of Age, a history of the Jewish people of Manitoba. And this is a gift from the Ritual Committee of Congregation Shaarey Zedek. Third book, A Century of Manitoba Jewish Physicians Healing Lives. And this is a special gift from Dr. Ted and Harriet Lyons, with the hope that more Jewish young adults will consider medicine as a career path. And you also have some certificates in that pile. The first one is from the Jewish National Fund of Canada, the JNF, because they planted 10 trees in your honor to celebrate your bat mitzvah, 10 trees in Israel to celebrate your bat mitzvah. You also have there, you have to keep it for whenever you actually qualified. You have 1 year free membership of BBYO. Okay, there's a certificate somewhere there, keeping it safe. And this is a gift from Earl and Cheryl Barish. And also you have there 2 certificates from 2 universities in Israel that they are already fighting for you. They want you to consider going to Israel to study in a university. That's why you will see there you have 2 certificates that they go towards tuition. One is from the Ben Gurion University of the Negev, and the other one is from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. Keep it in a safe place. You never know. Maybe you would like to have that experience at one point to go and study in Israel for a bit. And of course, you have the bat mitzvah certificate from Congregation Shaarey Zedek, testifying that you became a bat mitzvah on this Shabbat Vayikra, and also Shabbat Zachor. So Mazal Tov to you. You have also a couple more gifts. Candlesticks and Kiddush cup from Shaarey Zedek Sisterhood, and the blue box from the Jewish National Fund. I'm wondering, did you have one blue box when you became a bat mitzvah? You see something that can also from generation to generation. It changed very little. It's something to put a little bit of money every week there that eventually goes towards Israel. Now we have something very, very special. I would like to invite the 2 of you to come to the bima to bless Miri, Ronnie, Michelle. As I always like to say, the bat mitzvah is a celebration for the children, but it's mostly a celebration for the parents. It's a moment to enjoy your achievements. You work hard. You make sacrifices, I'm pretty sure, for 12 years. And this is the result when we make sacrifices, wonderful children like Miri. So now you have the opportunity to bless Miri and to thank God for this occasion.
I got some glare. Yivarech Adonai v'yishmerech. Ye'er Adonai panav elech v'yechunech. Yisa Adonai panav elach v'yasim lach shalom.
May God bless you and protect you. May God show you favor and be gracious to you. May God show you kindness and grant you peace.
Amen. And we have one more blessing that we are going to say together, and that is the Sheheyanu, when we are going to thank God for giving us all the life and the opportunity to celebrate this moment among family and friends. So I would like to invite everyone to rise as we recite together the Sheheyanu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Sheheyanu וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. And we say, Amen. Ronnie, Michelle, Miri, Mazal Tov, and we wish you all the best this moment. So, you may be seated. You may be seated. And we are going to continue now with a few announcements.
Yeah.
Mazel tov to Ronnie, Michelle, and Miri becoming bat mitzvah this morning. Miri, you did such a beautiful job, and it was such a pleasure working with you throughout this process as you worked your way towards this moment today. Yasher koach. And we hope to see you around over the years because you've got talent too. You're very good. In honor of Miri's bat mitzvah, Shaarey Zedek Sisterhood has presented her mom, Michelle, with a complimentary sisterhood membership. Good news, the synagogue will reopen for in-person participation of services and programs beginning March 16th. Visit szwinnipeg.ca for the complete details, and we thank everyone so much for your cooperation and understanding as we navigate these unprecedented times. You can visit our website at szwinnipeg.ca or Facebook for details about events, services, and initiatives that I'm about to announce. We have the Shaarey Zedek Lador Vador Capital campaign occurring to renovate and upgrade the synagogue building. You can visit szfuture.ca for artist renderings, frequently asked questions, and more. Daily services are the heart of our commitment to community. We stream online twice daily. We'll be back this evening at 6 p.m. with Tali Milo. There's Torah reading Saturday evenings this time of the year if you're interested in popping in online. We're also going to be here Sunday morning, 9 a.m. and 6 p.m., Monday through Thursday, 7:30 a.m. and 6 p.m., and Friday for Kabbalat Shabbat, 7:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. This week, I'll be leading Kabbalat Shabbat with guitar. I missed my turn last time. My grandmother passed away, but I'm looking forward to being here with everyone. Torah L'Chaim with Rabbi Anibal Mass takes place every Thursday online. You can find him streaming on YouTube and Facebook. And a reminder for all of us, here in Winnipeg, maybe not where you live, but here in Winnipeg, daylight savings time begins tomorrow at 2 a.m., so don't forget to set your clocks. And we're going 1 hour ahead as we spring forwards. We have a community-wide Purim carnival tomorrow afternoon outdoors with games, activities, snacks, prizes at the Asper campus and here at the Shaarey Zedek. It's a free event. Anyone can stop by, and we hope to see you tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to celebrating Purim. Purim was the last pre-pandemic event that we had at the shul, and I remember it very fondly, and I really look forward to celebrating Purim with my kids this year again. It's going to be great.
And it's a carnival.
It's a carnival because it involves some driving, if you want to do it all.
Yeah, it's with the cars.
Basic Judaism 5-week crash course is coming up. This is held Mondays over the lunch hour, beginning March 14th with Dr. Rina Sector Elbaz, free of charge. Registration is required. We have an interactive Megillah reading for children, teens, and adults on Wednesday, March 16th in the evening, both in person and online. Dress up. Boo Haman. Let's practice. Haman.
Boo.
Oh, wow, you guys are good. Awesome. You're all ready. Eat some hamantash, and there's take-home treats that we'll give you if you come by in person. It's a free event, no registrations required. You're welcome to help support JCFS and Winnipeg Harvest by bringing a non-perishable food item when you come by. It's very appropriate to shake a box of macaroni when you hear Haman.
Ooh.
Very good. All right. We have the Stay Young virtual program for seniors coming up Monday morning, March 21st. It will feature a concert with Shayla Fink. Shayla is awesome. Registration is required, and we're proud to partner with the Rady JCC on this initiative. Real Women of Jewish Winnipeg, we have a program on March 24th in the evening with Dr. Rina Sector-Elbaz on a Purim theme. Registration is required. The Brain Boosting Diet, a live virtual cooking demo on March 24th in the evening in honor of Canadian Jewish cookbook writer Noreen Gillitz. Zichrona Livracha. Registration is required. This is a free event led by Beit Tikva Synagogue of Toronto with local partners, Congregation Etz Chaim and Congregation Shaarey Zedek. Shaarey Zedek Pesach takeout order form is available online. Make your Pesach a little easier and place your order by March 31st. Pick up your take and reheat meals the day before Pesach begins. We are continuing to support Willow Place Women's Shelter with the help of Shaarey Zedek Sisterhood. If you're able to bring by toiletries, household supplies, craft and writing supplies, and other items for women and children, we are collecting on our lobby level. Clothing is not being accepted at this time. Melton is returning with the course Exploring a Forgotten World, a social history of medieval Jewry as revealed in the Cairo Geniza. This is a 10-session at once a week, facilitated by Patty Cohen, beginning April 4th. Registration is required. The Shaarey Zedek Sisterhood Judaica gift shop is open by appointment only. And if you'd like to learn more about what we're up to, you can always take a look online at winnipeg.ca or check out our Facebook page. And now, we're ready to continue. I'd like to invite our bat mitzvah girl and her family up to the bima as we open the Ark for Aleinu. You're invited to rise on page 44. Aleinu neshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kagoi haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpechot adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, הם מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום בהשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יחיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו Asher kochechem. We extend our condolences to the families of Leonard Kaplan, Elias Rodriguez de Mendoza, and Raquel Kurgan de Pachter. This week, we commemorate the yahrzeit of Abraham Rothstein, father of Susan Rosenby, and Luba Neiman, grandmother of Barb Neiman. On the 9th of Adar 2, we observe the yahrzeit of Teresa Clayman, Tamar Bat Mordechai, Alan Goldstein, Aaron David Ben Israel Yosef Feiga, Mendel Martin Meltzer, Menachem Mendel Ben Noach Miriam, Fanny Star Leonoff, Feigele Bat Edel, and Feiga Adler, the child we honor and remember through one more candle. We turn to page 46 for the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabah, Be'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei, B'chayechon uvyomechon v'chaye dekol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru Amen.
Amen.
Yehei Shmei Rabah mevarach le'alam l'amei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shemei dekudesha brichu.
Brichu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, Tamiran be'alma v'imru Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. We're almost at the end of the service, so this is a good opportunity to thank you all for coming today to celebrate Shabbat and Miri's Bat Mitzvah with us. Thank you, and also thank you to all of you connected online, and thank you for all the beautiful messages that you've been sending in the chat. So, Miri, after your celebration and everything, you can go back to YouTube, watch again your service, and you will see all the beautiful messages that people have been sending you from the beginning of the service. It's really something. It will be quite an experience, I guess a family experience, to go back and read all those beautiful things that people have been saying. They really love what you did. That's all I'm going to say. All good stuff. All good stuff. So, talking about Miri, Yasher Kochech and Mazal Tov, you were fantastic today. And I think this is something that we'll always remember. Your beautiful voice and and your beautiful message on the Var Torah. So Mazel Tov to the family, and thank you to our cantor Leslie Emery for all your contributions.
You're very welcome. It was an honor to be here with you all, celebrating your bat mitzvah in this moment in your life this morning, Miri. Mazel Tov and Yasher Koch on a beautiful job.
Thank you to Tali Milo, one of our lay leaders, for beautiful Torah reading and all the help with the chat. And also thank you to Marvin Polanski, our audiovisual director, for your help with the audio and the video. And again, thank you to all of you. This wouldn't be the same without you participating and sharing your energy with us. And it's time to start wrapping up the service. We're going to continue with Adon Olam now on page 47. It says traditional.
Yes.
What is traditional?
You know it.
I don't know. I'm coming from Argentina.
Adon Olam Asher Malach.
Okay, you see, that's not traditional for me. but it doesn't mean that I cannot play it. Let's see. Let's try it here.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Le'nasa B'chem Soko Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kiklot HaKol Levadoch Imloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yeh V'tifara Ve'hu Echad Ve'ein Sheni Le'hashilo Le'hachmirat Ve'li Reshit Ve'li Tachlit Ve'lo Hazot Ve'hamitra Ve'hu Eli Ve'chai Goyali Ve'tzor Chevli Ve'etzara Ve'hu Nisi U'manosli Menat Kosi Ve'yom Ekra Ve'yado Akidruthi Ve'at Desha
Please rise for Kiddush.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית העולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית העולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית העולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית העולם.
וביום השביעי שבת ורי נפש, שבת ורי נפש, שבת ורי נפש.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית העולם.
על כן ברך אדוני יום השבת והקדושהו. סברי רענן
לחיים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במיתותיו וציוונו על נטילת ידיים.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ.
אמן. מזל טוב. מזל טוב.
Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, yehelanu.
Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, yehelanu, yehelanu, yehelanu. Lecho Israel, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, oh Lecho Israel, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, oh Lecho Israel, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, oh Lecho Israel.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Now can go and celebrate.